morning, everyone. Welcome to the Medicare Space live show. My name is Victoria Cabrera, and we have our beautiful co-host,
Sylvia Toscano. Good morning, everybody.
And we are super excited here because we have a very special guest with us. And hopefully, well, yes, you guys. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Joelle. Good morning. We see you. Awesome. Well, we have a very special guest this morning, and Sylvia actually was able to.
I found him.
She found him.
I found
this gem.
I look far and wide.
I did. But I finally found what I wanted to bring on our show. And
yes.
Here he is, Alan Sell, not Sells.
Sale. Yeah, we put with an S at the end of that. Sorry, Alan. It's because Sylvia has a bad habit is when she's talking in her phone, she always like makes things plural. So I'm like, so you have some sales today? She's like, nope, no. Welcome, Alan. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Happy to be here.
Welcome aboard.
Yes. Well, you came into the Lion's Den because Sylvia and I just love to have fun. So I don't know. We're like the Lion's Den of fun.
Yes, we are.
We're not what's the wolf's den? Is it wolf's den or lion's den?
I think it'd be a little bit scarier with a wolf's den. I'll take a lion.
Okay,
lion.
Okay. At least the lion we can try to pet. So I don't know.
We always say we talk a little bit about Medicare and a lot of nonsense.
Yes. We were telling Alan before. Good morning, Josie. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Joelle. We were telling Alan that. Yeah, the first 15 minutes were just kind of like messing around and like talking about our day. And then we really get into the educational part, like, 15 minutes, here. 20 minutes in. So good morning, Anna. Thank you so much for joining in. So for those of you guys that just joined in today, we have a guest with us. His name is Alan Sale, and he's with Soldiers Angels, right? And he's going to tell us all about Soldiers Angels and how they've been helping not only just veterans, right? You guys are helping. Can you just tell us a little bit?
Yeah, sure. We are an organization that's focused on providing programming support for deployed service members, veterans of across the board, and then their families in a variety of different ways.
Are you guys only in Texas, or are you guys like nationwide?
No, we are a national nonprofit. We actually also have a representation in Longstuhl, Germany, at the at the hospital there.
Oh wow! Okay,
support, so
awesome. So you guys have and do you guys like try to find volunteers, or tell us a little bit about?
Absolutely. So we have a little over 20 staff members, but we're very, very fortunate that we have, I believe, nearly 100,000 volunteers across the country, as well as in many, many countries across the world that help and support our programs. Most of our efforts, while we have representation in various VA hospitals, COVID has changed that and thrown a monkey wrench into things. Many of our programs can be done virtually. So a lot of our volunteer opportunities can be done as long as you have access to a post office. There's a lot of programs that Soldiers Angels supports that we can we look for volunteers to help us. Programs that go specifically to deployed service members. We actually even offer a program that supports the female caregivers of wounded, ill, or injured veterans, which I think is a population that not a lot of people think of immediately when they think about the recovery process for those veterans, but they are critical in the recovery process, as well as the amount of time and energy that they put of their time, both professionally or personally, to help this very important population.
So that's interesting. So you guys have, like if somebody like Sylvia and I, or people that were listening, wanted to volunteer with the Soldiers Angels to serve, could anybody just do that, or is there like an application process?
Yeah. We have virtual opportunities through our website, soldiersangels, plural.org. So I always have to say like that, because I when I first started typing it, I always leave off the S somewhere. You were adding the S to my name. I leave the S.
Go ahead, take the S back.
But then if they're actually if some of your listeners are here in San Antonio, we have a warehouse that we're actually looking for volunteers to help us
Awesome.
with a lot of our initiatives throughout the year, and especially as we get closer to the holiday season, our efforts are ramping up.
Awesome.
So
well, we'll definitely ramp up our little troops over here. We got a few.
I
We got at
know.
least 5 of them, and then we have about I think we have about maybe 15 more people that would in our team that would
Oh,
be
yeah.
willing to do that. So when
Yeah.
you're ready for us, let us know. We'll,
yes.
soldiersangels.org, and there's a volunteer registration page
Okay.
on there, and
Uh-huh.
you can choose the teams that you want to be a part of.
Mhm.
And on the virtual side, it's really, really easy. And if you're interested in volunteering with some of the VA centers, there's opportunities that can be found on the website to register there as well. Because even with COVID going, we still have a lot of programs that we need VA representatives, as well as building our teams in those areas.
Yeah, that
Wow.
and we were just kind of talking about this prior to getting on the live show, is that there's a lot of centers right around like VA. Do you know how many, rough estimate, how many VA clinics are around here? I know there's the one Audie Murphy Hospital, but there's quite a bit of clinics, right?
And that one's about to open up, I believe, the Audie Murphy Center in the next 60 days.
Okay.
And that's really exciting. We're very fortunate that we have a wonderful partnership with the Department of Veterans Affairs, as well as with the VA centers across the country. And we really want to find, when centers open up, we really want to find ways that we can expand our efforts to the veterans that are using those facilities, either here in San Antonio or across the country.
Yeah, because a lot of people, and if you don't have family members or friends that have any ties to the military, or maybe didn't have anybody that served, because we're in the Medicare space, we run into a lot of veterans. Just naturally, because some of them are becoming of age of 65, or maybe they're on disability. And so we do run a lot into a lot of veterans.
Right.
And so for me, I don't really have any family that's in the military. So I really never was exposed to it. And so now that we work in our profession, we see a lot of like the issues that, not so much issues, but some of the things that the obstacles that they encounter, like getting certain care or certain services that they need outside of just their medical situation. Right.
And we try to, every time we come across anybody like yourself, we keep them on our books, because eventually somebody's going to request that help, or, we're out there every day. I am out there on the street. And so I come across a lot of veterans that need help, personally, or even at their home, with the wheelchair or ramp, things like that. And so we try to get as much information. So when we do come across them, we have numbers and, and a lot of times I'll have to tell them, I don't know, but I always go back and, try to dig up numbers and ask people and call people, and just, the more information we get, the more information we can give to
100%,
everybody,
100%. Well, on that note, just because we just had it yesterday, but we have it monthly, is Soldiers Angels in 6 cities, one of them being here in San Antonio, have mobile food distribution programs.
Okay.
So we serve typically about 200 to 230 veterans each month. With we provide, it's low income veterans that over 70 pounds worth of healthy food.
Oh, wow.
To each of them. Due to COVID, we have a drive-through process. We have worked very hard to make it as efficient as possible. And that's also another great opportunity for volunteers, is that event typically takes between 50 to 70 volunteers to run smoothly. So every month we are looking for, here in San Antonio, as well as in our other 5 cities that we offer this program, volunteers. So that's, again, you can go to our website, soldiersangels.org.
Awesome.
And look for the mobile food distribution program.
So I see you guys watching us, right? And for those of you that are, because there's always people that are like, man, I really want to help. I just don't know how. Like, what can I do? How can I serve? Right? Because naturally, as humans, we want to serve, right? Well, most of us do. If you're watching this show, you probably want
I
to
hope
serve
so,
in some
yes.
capacity. If you don't, then get on that train. But this is a great way, right? This is a
Yeah.
great opportunity for you to give back and serve in your community. If you're not in San Antonio, like Alan was saying, there's virtual opportunities that you can help with. And we'll talk about more about that in just a second. But this is a great opportunity. And we're so glad you're here because we talk a lot about Medicare. We talk a lot about insurance. We talk a lot about education on those things. But we promised our listeners that from here on out, we're going to start having more people that can provide more value, not just to people that are listening, but they can share that information with people in their household.
Mhm.
I
Right.
just ran into a situation like this week, actually Monday. It was her spouse, her husband was still working, and they were looking for some help with that. And I could have asked, hey, are you by any chance, are you a veteran or anything like that? Are there, for those distribution centers, are there any like requirements other than?
Correct.
Mhm.
So there are requirements because it is specifically for low income veterans.
Mhm.
When the veterans sign up, they do have their income verified. It's
Uh-huh.
not.
Okay.
I mean, it's not deep. We call and we ask because we do want to make sure that the veterans are falling
Mhm,
under a certain annual income.
Yes, that makes sense, because you just don't want, because unfortunately there are some people that are like, well, let's just go. And it doesn't
Yeah.
really get to the people that actually need it.
Mhm.
And, like Sylvia, she'll like go to the buffet and she's like,
I don't do buffets.
she don't do buffets.
I don't do buffets. But so
I
you have
loved
the
buffets when I was in college.
It just depends
Oh,
on
I
what
love
kind of buffet it is.
I've never been a big buffet.
Uh-huh.
I used to wait tables. So I like people to bring me my food to the table. I don't like to get up. I like to be spoiled, and I want my food and my drinks brought to me.
Hey, I'm the same way. I think one time there was not too long ago. It was like last week. I think we went to a restaurant and we were like, how does this work? They're like, oh, you order there. And we were kind of dressed up and we're like, no, I think we want to go somewhere where we get
Yeah.
served and,
Because you're there with a tray like in school.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this doesn't work.
And when I used to drop my tray in school, they used to go, boo.
Yeah, oh, yes. And I would do it again to you if you would drop your tray wherever we are.
I've done it a few times. And I got booed a few times before because I'm so clumsy. They call me, I'm just clumsy. My staff will tell you, like having this right here is already like a red flag because,
I'm
it can
scared.
spill all over.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
definitely
scared.
that's why I'm keeping a cap on, like I'm keeping my distance.
Because we're gonna go up in flames here if we get
No.
shorted.
I'm already finished with my coffee, so you're good. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining in. We have a good audience today. You guys are always awesome. Our continued listeners that help this show grow. Because without you listening, without you liking the show, without you engaging in the show will not grow. That's just the way Facebook and YouTube algorithm works. And the more you click, the more you like, the more you share, the more people can actually see it, right? And so when we bring in people like Alan to come share their services, to come share some of the community resources out there, it really is a big help when you guys are listening. And so I just want to thank you guys. And as always, if you have questions for Alan, right, put them in the comments below and I'll relay this message to him and we'll try to get your questions answered. If you're just tuning in, Alan is with Soldiers Angels, not Soldier Angel. Soldier, because they need a lot of soldiers, or they need a lot of angels for the soldiers.
Exactly right.
Yes.
And I do want to just jump in real quick that even though our name is Soldiers Angels, we support all branches of the service.
Okay, yes. So tell us about that, please.
So so originally the organization was started
Mhm.
around 2003
Mhm.
by a family member of General Patton. Her son was being deployed and she had sent some care packages, got a letter back from her son, really just gushing about how much his unit loved this package,
Mhm.
how really there weren't any other care packages coming into his friends there, and it really motivated her to, really realize that some of these soldiers don't have the same level of support system as others do, and a care package or some small token of thought really goes long ways. I mean, when her son was saying that he would just lay out the care packages and people would be sharing, one beef jerky strip they'd cut into 3 pieces so 3 people could do. And it really grew from that desire to make sure that no soldier goes unloved. And from that point, we've grown since 2003 to provide we have virtual baby shower opportunities for expectant mothers. We still have our care packages. We've grown those a little bit more, where we also support different similar care package programs. Christmas in July, our stockings program to deployed service members. So we've grown a lot of our letter writing campaign. You were talking earlier about how maybe some people feel that it's a little daunting to volunteer. They don't really know where to start. We actually have a volunteer opportunity where you write birthday cards to service members and veterans that have signed up for us, and you take it to the post office, and it makes a huge impact for the military community, just to get this little card that says, "We're thinking about you. Happy birthday. We really are there for you." And in the past, historically, we've had some long-term relationships with the pen pal established through some of the programs, and others. We have veterans that have left the military, but you would say during deployment, Soldiers Angels sent us care packages, or sent our unit care packages, because we also support special operations teams. And it really helps them. It brings that slice of home. We also have individuals that will send baked goods, cookies, whatnot. So there's really a massive amount of volunteer opportunities that can be done really easily. And I'm the director of volunteer services, so this is really what I focus on is how we can get volunteers involved, and it really is a lot easier than maybe some people think it is. And it goes to such a welcoming and appreciative group.
Alan, I just thought of something, and I got to get it off my brain before it gets off. Okay. I thought about a wonderful, wonderful volunteer, what you were talking about. So if you're listening, I think we should do this.
Okay.
So this kind of goes hand in hand when we talk about our seniors, right? A lot of time, especially with COVID, is that we have a lot of them that are widowed, or maybe they even Adriana out there, she's like, sometimes they just want to talk to me because they want somebody to talk to. So I'm thinking we should get it out to all of our clients to say, hey, let's find you a pen pal.
Right.
And we can at least, because what I love about our seniors, they're always so wise. They have such wise words for even me. I'll chit chat with them all day. And so I'm like, how can we tap in our senior community to tap into this pen pal program where we create?
I do want to say it is a letter writing program. Sometimes the service members write. We do want to make it clear that it is the letter writing that we do have options that send to specific or in the Christmas cards, birthday cards. But it is up to the soldier to decide on the return side. But those letters, we have 2 programs, one that does the birthday, the encouragement cards, and then one that sends letters specifically to service members that sign up. And those are John Smith, and some of the service members will write back. But I do want to make sure that your listeners don't have a false sense of of how that program works, because it is we do want to cater to the level of comfort by our military community. So we do have a lot of situations where they do write back, but it's not always a given. And we actually have group leaders and team leaders that help new volunteers to kind of understand the process and work with them. But it is a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity because a lot of our seniors have some phenomenal wisdom. Some of them are veterans from a different era and have
Exactly.
perspectives and are really can write those letters to say, I know what you're going through.
Right.
I was in a similar situation. And that, I mean, that's powerful. That's
Mhm.
moving.
Exactly.
For to be able to feel like you're not just you're not alone, because
Mhm.
many times, you know, these service members are on ships or on deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan and or on all other places, and they don't have someone that they can say, I know what you're going through.
Right. I
And-
gave your card, your pamphlet that you
Yes.
gave, the brochure, to one of the seniors. I'm at the senior center on Thousand Oaks on Thursdays. And he was telling me he hadn't gone out of the house for the last couple of months or nor go to the senior center or doing anything. And he said his son told him yesterday morning, you're going to the senior center. You need to get out of the
Yeah,
house.
he needs to get out.
And he was saying, he goes, I'm at home. He retired military. He was in the military for like 25 years. He was telling me his whole story. And he's like, I'm at home. I watch TV. I'm in my bedroom. I don't go out. I don't do anything. So I gave him the brochure and I was
Sure.
telling him about it. He was all excited. He's like, okay, where is it? He doesn't drive anymore, but he's like, maybe I can get my son to take me or
Oh,
something.
absolutely.
But, you know, a lot of the seniors, especially now, they're at home not doing anything. They're afraid to go out. You know, so even some kind of, you know, writing contact, you know, would lift their
Sure.
spirits and help you, you know, the same way.
And for your listeners that are in San Antonio that are interested in doing some volunteer effort, as I mentioned, we have a warehouse. It is heated and air conditioned, and we do require masks and maintain social distancing guidelines. So it is a great opportunity if a senior wants to come in, because we really have put a premium on making sure that we have people that feel safe and that it's a comfortable environment from an atmospheric side. You know, with Texas heat and the colds.
AC is like
AC.
as long as there's AC, right? So it's funny because in the office, I put it as soon as I get in, they're like, oh, because like I'm like, I get it all the way down, and that's why I try to keep this office like cold. To me, it's not cold right now, but
To me, it's perfect.
but I know Adriana is
She
over
has
there
a
taking
sweater over
pictures.
there.
They
all
bring
wear
blankets.
sweaters. So let me ask you, you're talking about the volunteers, the food drive. How about veterans that can't get out of the house, that are housebound? Do you have an organization that takes them food or helps them, or how do you reach them?
We don't have a program with Soldiers Angels to address that particular group of individuals. What we do is that when we receive a request of that sort, we do have, we're very, very fortunate that we have a number of partnerships and resources that we can direct them to
Okay.
that are not part of Soldiers Angels, but as an organization who is very involved in the VAs and just in the military nonprofit community as a whole, we would pass on to the best of our ability.
Okay.
And that does happen quite a bit, where we get those calls. And because we do also work with homeless veterans. We have a HUD-VASH program that supports providing household goods to veterans that are able to find a new address, but just don't have the ability to purchase couches, beds, flatware, you know, kitchenware, and that has blossomed into some great relationships across the board.
That's awesome.
That
So
is good.
what made you get into this? Because I always get curious, you know, how people get
And
kind of
we only have an hour for this show, so I think we'll
okay.
my father was career Navy. He was with the Navy for over 30 years. I was very fortunate that I was I am a product of the Department of Defense dependent schools overseas. I grew up in England. My parents moved to Greece when I was in high school, and were in Italy while I was in college. And I really got to see a lot of that environment. I mean, when I was very, very young, going to the base a lot, didn't quite have it. But as I got older And really what tipped it for me was when I was in college. I went to Texas Tech for my bachelor's and my master's. Is we had a lot of veterans that were in my fraternity, were in the same social circles, and they really had a very wide array of adjustment, and seeing, hearing them and seeing some of the things that they were dealing with as young adults. And then I obviously with having a veteran father, that contributed, as well as that connection. My wife is an Air Force veteran. We met while she was in active duty, and having that perspective on when she separated, the programs that were available for separated Air Force veterans, and then just through being part of different organizations, always having a spot in my heart for veterans, knowing that this is a community that gives so much in ways that many people don't see, or they may only hear about. And being away from your family, my dad was on aircraft carriers for a good portion of my young life, and this was way before Facebook, social media, emails, and all that. And I remember, those letters. I remember my mom getting me a tape recorder and recording messages when I was like 5 or 6 years old to my dad, and mailing those. And the impact that those small gestures have, and the level of craving by people that are away from their families. And I was very fortunate to be connected with Soldiers Angels when I moved to San Antonio through looking for my next opportunity. Met with the staff and really fell in love with what Soldiers Angels was trying to do. And I don't think I've ever found a organization with a team that is so passionate. We have veterans, we have military spouses, we've got people that don't have any family connection to the military, but everybody, it just blows me away every day how dedicated and motivated everyone is. It also helps that we are allowed to have dogs in our office.
Oh, that's awesome.
Beautiful dog.
And we do too. Well, at least I do. I'm allowed.
We have an office cat, so
And the cat too. That's right.
When Sylvia came into our office, we have a big sign that basically puts the rules of, we have an office cat, like it or leave.
Like it or leave it. Or she's like,
yeah. And there's actually, funny you should mention, I've got a 130-pound chocolate lab, and Rue, who is the office cat, saw him, and they had a bit of a standoff. And you would think, small cat, Rue bopped my dog on the nose, and that just established the dominance.
Wow.
I'm in charge.
That's like Desiree. Desiree runs the office. Well, I don't know. Adriana really does, but Desiree's that, she's
the boss.
She's the energy.
You were saying about your mom getting letters. My uncle was in Vietnam, and we used to send him tape recorders, and all my family would get together like on a Friday, and we would all say a little something to Uncle Joe Rios, and he was in Vietnam. He was there for 2 years. And so when he came back, I remember he would listen to them. He would tell us, I used to listen to them all the time. All the guys would listen to them, and because there were very few that would get things from their family. And so, used to tell us that everybody knew the family member. I had a nickname that I won't name, but everybody knew Sylvia, and everybody knew my Uncle Eddie and Grandma and Grandpa. And everything.
Uncle Eddie.
Yeah, like if we were part of their family, So
that's awesome.
I can relate to that.
And that's so important, and that's really where that same idea is to bring that sense of connection to deployed service members now, in this era, and we also, in something that as I really first started at Soldiers Angels, I was blown away with some of the other programs that we offer that are very previously I hadn't really thought of it. When my dad finally retired from the Navy and then retired from government work. He moved back to Dallas and worked with homeless veterans in a very informal through his church, but in a very concentrated but very caring. He would take them to the VA centers for appointments, and I learned a little bit more. But when I joined Soldiers Angels and learned about what we do here, it actually told me of something that I really didn't think of, which was the small details like hygiene kits. So we create hygiene kits, and we're always looking for volunteers to create hygiene, I mean, shampoo, conditioner, just things that when a homeless veteran or somebody that comes into a VA center needs these simple things
Right.
that are not provided as the same level of providing as a commercial hospital. But the other thing that I think is really cool is we actually create non-perishable meal kits.
Oh, nice.
So if a veteran has maybe a day full of appointments, or the VA center doesn't have a cafeteria, or they simply just don't have the economic capabilities to purchase food, we send these non-perishable meal kits to the VA centers to distribute to these individuals. And then the stand down service with our homeless veterans. And that those two things, the hygiene kits and the meal kits, really made me kind of were what really sold me on Soldiers Angels, because those address such an important issue in my mind, to help veterans in a very specific way that has just a very impactful way. Because I don't know if you're all familiar. One of the things when they interview homeless across the board is that they want that level of dignity, that they know that they're a person. And I like to think that those simple things provides that level of dignity, which is so important, especially to our veterans that are having a very tough time right now.
Something that we take for granted.
Yes, exactly. I agree. That's cool. Yeah, because you don't think about the small details.
Right.
We're so big on the bigger picture, but it's like the little things that I mean, I'm going to relate to when I travel and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot my toothpaste and my this and that. I'm like, oh my God, like the world's ending. It's like those things, those little things. It's like, they are really important. So I'm glad that you guys are like looking at the finite details of those things that not everybody thinks about, and we do, like when we do our events, we kind of do similar things for the seniors. Is like, we'll do like toothbrushes. And actually, Sylvia, what were you going to buy the other day?
Avocado earrings. I love just for your listeners.
Yeah. Let's show them the earrings. Look at that. Look at that.
Avocado earrings.
I saw them when I was talking to her before the show, and I was just, those are phenomenal. Those are phenomenal.
Are they, what are they, like avocados?
Yeah. You have to touch
pure
them.
avocado. Pure avocado.
You're gonna give them ojo. You know what that is, right?
No, I want to put it.
avocado.
I want to put them in a sandwich right now or something. Give me some chips. Anybody got some chips?
I was gonna buy. So one of the insurance companies I sell, if you sell so much, you can order like cups, toothpaste, back scratchers, and it has my name and my phone number. And so I bought some fly swatters, and one of the Desiree, one of the younger ones here, was like, "Oh my God, fly swatters! That's gross." I'm like, people like fly swatters and the back scratchers and things like that. So we give those to our seniors. We give them the first aid kit, little things like that, because a lot of them, a lot of our seniors are just, they're very low income. A lot of them don't have air condition. So in the summer, they go to the senior center and they stay there pretty much all day until they close, because they don't want to go home at 110 degrees inside. So I see what you're saying, about the veterans. I do come across a lot of veterans that are homeless. I'm at the HEB on New Braunfels, and so unfortunately I come across a lot of them, and it's always so heartbreaking, because you really don't know what to say. You really don't. You can relate to them in any way. I can't, but it's just that and then you don't want to make them feel bad, or shame them, or my heart always breaks for them, because they served and then,
Yeah.
they're homeless. It's
Yeah.
just so sad. And I never have any resources to give them, you know? So you are a fountain of resources for us.
Yes. And I really encourage, we're always looking for volunteers to help us with Soldiers and Angels. The other really important part is to let veterans, their families, and deployed service members know about the services that we provide so that they can sign up for them. Because and something that I think that we are about to actually just start up in signups, which is our Adopt a Family program, which is every year we will have families that are typically low income veterans, and we ask volunteers to adopt the family. So the volunteers purchase a gift for the children, and the children give a one-item wish list of what they want with a dollar cap, and volunteers can sign up and purchase those, adopt that family, purchase those gifts, and then we ask that the volunteer also sends a gift, a food gift card to help with holiday meals. And those are other great things. Again, those are typically low income, or they need to be low income individuals and families to help make things just a little bit brighter and support them, allow volunteers to support these families in impactful ways.
Now, are all of the services, because I know I'll have some of them they're not asking, but I know they're probably thinking, I know that you mentioned the pen pal or the letter writing, but are there any other things within your organization that don't require them to be low income, or is a lot of it geared around the low income?
Well, those programs I've spoken about earlier are the mobile food distribution, the Adopt a Family. Those are low income. Those target and really support the low income. But letter writing, that's not impacted because we do have veterans that may live at home or just want would love to have a birthday card. So it's not all low income. There's just some programs that are geared towards helping to support. I mean, our HUD-VASH, the providing furniture and household goods. That's, as I mentioned, that's for veterans that have recently left homelessness. But I really encourage your listeners to go to soldiersangels.org and look through the sheer number of programs that we have to support veterans of all eras.
So on the volunteers here in San Antonio at your warehouse, do you require them to work a minimum hours, or can they work one day out of the week, or how do you see it? We are
grateful for any time that's given by volunteers. If it's 1 hour a week, we've got some volunteers that donate probably, if I did the math right, probably about 35 to 40 hours a week.
Wow. Nice.
And it's again, air conditioned and heated throughout the year. That has a lot of appeal for people. but we have opportunities where we have groups that will come in to work in our warehouse in a one-off situation. But we would love to, especially as we gear up for our programs in the next couple of months with Adopt a Family, our Halloween Treats for Troops program, and our stockings. We need as many hands on deck. And if your listeners and anyone that wants to volunteer can give us a schedule, that helps our intake and logistics department to make sure, again, since we do want to maintain COVID safety precautions, that we're able to manage and make sure that someone doesn't come in and not have a set of things to do.
Okay.
And if you guys are listening right now, because I know you guys are, I see you. Put a little thumb, say hi to Alan. There you go. I was just say, put a thumbs up right in the comments right there. if you feel that you want to serve, she's
Yes.
going to give you the finger if you don't put a thumb. Okay.
And I will.
So put your thumbs up if you're going to help us out, and go to soldiersangels.org and find a way, even if it's sending a birthday card or signing up for the writing the letters. If you're in San Antonio, we'll huddle up the group. We'll give you a date. And then if you want to join us, meet us at the office. Well, because you guys are where are you located? Where's your warehouse located?
And I will preface this that I am a new San Antonio resident, so I apologize by butchering this name if I've gotten it wrong again.
I'll help you.
But we're at 410 in Perrin Beidle.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
All
You
right.
didn't mess it up.
All right.
It's okay. I used to call it Perrin Beetle and Hubner and what was it? I used to call them all weird names. I know Siri says Hubner, right? Or
Hubner.
Hubner.
Yes.
Wait,
You
isn't it
got
what-
us lost yesterday. I don't know where
Oh,
you were going.
go. No, it's because, again, I'm going to blame it on the iPhone. I just switched to an iPhone like a few months ago, and I was an Android person like for my whole life, and I don't really like the Apple Maps. And two, I put in the wrong address.
it was one.
It
of the
was
two.
really
It was
Siri,
one of the
but it
two.
was my fault too.
I kept thinking maybe it's a different location. Maybe she got something's going on
So-
here. I was just following her, and then I realized, no, I think when you're gonna take a left, I'm like, something's wrong here. Thank God you called.
And guys, we're coming up, aside from us getting lost in our, of course, we always like steer off the path. 410 and Perrin Beidle,
Yes.
right?
Just past Academy.
Okay.
Outside 410.
Just outside 410.
And if you go to soldiersangels.org, will it have the location there? Okay. So just go to
Absolutely.
Soldiers Angels. Don't listen to me on where it's at because I'll get you lost. And don't listen to Sylvia
Next
because
to
she's
Academy.
Yes,
I
next to
never get
Academy.
lost. Thanks to Academy.
next to Academy. And also, when you go visit there, look through their website, see how you can serve back. And I was going to say something else, and see, I forgot my train of thought already, Sylvia.
Yeah,
This
You
is
can
all-
all.
always
Adopt a
call us
family.
while you're trying to remember that. You can always call
Yes.
What's the
And-
number?
us.
Sorry.
Whoa.
I-
Actually, no, I say that. I have it right here on my sheet.
Okay.
It is 210-629-0020.
210-629.
0020. You're
20.
asking me the hard question. You
I
promised
know.
that you wouldn't.
I'm sorry. I'm
you know.
sorry. I think the adopt a family is
That's
It's
a cool one. Yeah.
that's
It's a
really
really
good.
cool, and we're very fortunate that we have a wonderful amount of individual volunteers that will adopt families, but we're also fortunate that we've built such great relationships with a lot of organizations and companies that will adopt 10, 50, sometimes
Oh,
even
okay.
100 families.
Gotcha.
Which is phenomenal because, again, we are always looking at expanding our programs. Our goal is not to set a number and say, okay, we only want to support this number of people. We want to find ways that we
Mhm.
can support the maximum amount.
Mm-hmm.
And if someone signs up for us, we want to make sure that they're going to be able to get the support that they've requested.
That's
So,
awesome.
Where do you normally get all your donations from? Do you big companies or individuals
grants. Mary Kay is one of the organizations that comes to mind. We're very, very fortunate to have great volunteer representatives from that organization that donate goods. Individuals, as I had mentioned earlier, before the show, we've had people that will send in items to help us with some of our initiatives. And then, some of the fundraising that we have,
Mhm.
we will purchase items. In the
Okay.
case of the mobile food distribution, there are situations where we will purchase that food from the local food bank
Mhm.
Okay.
so that we can provide that support to the veterans.
Awesome.
So we have our development team really is phenomenal. I do want to give a shout out to Amy Palmer, our CEO and president. She is I would put her as one of the hardest working people in San Antonio, and I definitely think she's one of the hardest working people in the veteran nonprofit
Wow.
space.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Amy.
Amy?
Thumbs up.
and I'm not just saying that because she's my boss.
Yeah,
I generally think that she does some great work, and as I mentioned earlier, we just have such a motivated team that
Mhm.
our support and our ideas of programming and how we can be better comes from so many different ways, and it's great to see. I mean, on the volunteer side, the outpouring of support from individuals
And I saw
every
that
week.
that day I was there.
Yes,
You
you
know,
did. That's
I
right.
barged
That's right.
in there.
Marched is right.
Yeah,
I
she-
marched in there.
She kicked the door open. Sylvia does
I
not
saw
take
it.
no for an
I saw
answer.
it. Yeah.
I
Absolutely
want to
true.
know what you do. Everything.
Tell me
about
what
it
you
is-
do. You
Tell
don't
me
know who
what
I
you do.
am.
Well, and that's actually one of the really cool things is that we've got some of the volunteers, like I mentioned, that work that come in 5 days a week. They are our biggest advocates, and that's really where you're asking. Also, where do we get our support? Is from our volunteers. Is that when they from every conversation that I've had, and on the volunteer service side, I get a lot of them, is that just how happy they are with Soldiers Angels, that they see that we really are dedicated to the mission. And I believe you talked to one of our volunteers, Janine, who they're our spokespeople. They are, as I mentioned, we've got a little over 20 staff members, but thousands of volunteers, and those are really where our heart and soul come from, is the volunteers that help us month in and month out. And I cannot properly express my gratitude, because Soldiers Angels wouldn't be where we are and where we've grown from in the last 18 years without our volunteers. And we're always looking for more. And
You
I'm
can never
just
have enough.
grateful. Never have
Yes.
enough. I do want to share. You were talking about mispronouncing towns or streets, and I always think, whenever we talk about that, and I butcher names all the time. When you go to New York, the Houston and Houston, and I when I was younger, I interned in New York, and that was the first giveaway that I was not, besides the slight West Texas drawl that I developed. That was the giveaway that I was not from the area. I was like, where's Houston Street? Houston.
Houston.
Ooh, I wonder what the
See?
right way really is.
Houston. No,
know.
and there it's named after someone whose last
Oh,
was like John Houston.
Oh, okay.
But it's spelled the
Spelled
exact
like
same.
us,
Yeah.
like Houston, okay.
Like us, exactly.
like us
Texans.
Texans.
Like how it should be.
We do everything the right way.
Exactly.
We do it big,
Exactly.
and we do it the right way.
Well, and I remember when I worked for a congressman many years ago that was over Bexar County, and that was a bit of a shock, was that I thought I was doing a great job, and I would say Bexar, and they're like, and on our constituents would say, "You're not from here." No, but Texas words are always fun. Like there's a lot of great places that only Texans know how to Nacogdoches, Bear, and many others.
Yes.
Every time I'm on the phone with the insurance and I give them the address, and they're like, "Is that Bear?" Or they can never say the right words.
Yeah. And guys, don't forget, if you have questions, we got like little less than 10 minutes left. It flew by. Okay. So if you have questions, put it in the comments for Alan. If you have any questions, I know he did a really great job of conveying the message about Soldiers Angel. So if you have questions, this is your time to ask. This is what we're here for. We want to get your questions answered. Or if you have comments, if you want to volunteer and message us, let us know. We are always wanting to give back in any way that we can. We're definitely going to do it.
Yes.
And so if you want to join us, we're going to put that date out there. Maybe we'll get with Alan on the date. It'll have to be probably in October sometime. But we'll definitely get that date out, and we'll send that to you guys. So if you do want to, but don't hesitate, go to soldiersangels.org and take a look and see if there's something, how you want to contribute. It would be really greatly appreciated And thank you. Without you guys joining in and listening in, we can't get people like Alan to come out here and
Right.
actually like provide more information to you guys to spread the message onto other people, right? And so that's what the Medicare Space Live is all about. And you can always go back if you came in late, because I know that you guys come off and on. If you came in late, you didn't catch the first 15 minutes. Thank you, Anna. Anna says she's going to go to the website.
Good,
Thank
good.
you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
What was the website
I-
again?
soldiersangels.org.
And
There
I
we
put it
go.
on our little
Yeah.
Okay,
banner
good,
there, so
good.
they're going to have
Plural
it.
possessive plural is how.
So thank you so much. And like I said, if for those of you guys that are just joining in, Alan Sale with Soldiers Angels, you can go back and listen to the the first 30 minutes on our YouTube channel at the Medicare Space YouTube channel, or you can even watch us on Sylvia's page, Sylvia Toscano, or the Medicare Space business page. So, there's a lot of ways. There's no excuses. There's a lot of ways to get this information. Is there anything else before we close out today, Alan? Is there anything else?
So can I just throw some numbers?
Yes,
at y'all? 'Cause
absolutely.
I always think this is so cool. So actually, we were talking about care packages and all sorts of kind of how it got started and how we can go through. Just to kind of give you an idea, since 2003, so in the last 18 years, just to deployed service members, we've sent over, our volunteers have over 900,000 care packages.
Wow.
Oh my!
So actually,
gosh.
so in the last 18 years, that's just a deployed service members. That's not
Wow.
including our other programs. So Soldiers Angels really is working hard to organize. And again, we couldn't be here without our volunteers,
Right.
but we are really dedicated to sending these items out. And I really encourage anybody that is curious about how they can help to look at soldiersangels.org, see how easy it is, how many programs we have.
Mhm.
I also want to give the other two. We also have a program that's called Ladies of Liberty, which specifically supports female deployed service members,
Cool.
where they can send care packages and other items.
Mhm.
But we also want people, because some people are, they want to maybe volunteer and really impact in a specific group.
Mhm.
Soldiers Angels has that variety of different groups, of low income, of deployed, of veterans. With COVID and the changes, we do have in some VA centers patient visits where our volunteers can come to the VAs.
Mhm.
That varies case by case, and where we would work with the volunteers to
Mhm.
identify where what VAs are open to patient visits. As I mentioned, the hygiene kits. In some cities, we even offer transit passes to help veterans get to their appointments.
That's a
and,
good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then if you're crafty, and then because
Which we're
I'm not,
not.
I'm terrible at it. But we actually have a sewing and crafting team that does no-sew blankets, like the ones that you could buy on, just about every hobby store. Some people will make babies caps or knitted caps.
You did it.
So,
Did I say the magic word? I'm hoping
Baby
so.
caps.
I go to one of the clinics, Conviva, and they do activities. And a couple of weeks ago, they were knitting, and I made this little baby cap that I made, and so
It
I have
was
something to give you.
it was supposed to be what do you call those?
a beanie, or
A beanie,
something.
but it
Yes.
turned out like a little like baby beanie.
and so I started knitting last week. They were making fun of me. They were calling me old because I was knitting.
Whoa, that is not true. That is not
I
true.
love Alan. And so I was knitting and I got about this far. I was making a scarf. And then I realized that I hooked one of the ends to the beginning. So I had to take it all apart.
Totally.
And I got mad and I threw it in the corner and it's still there. I haven't picked it up again.
So if you're
So-
crafty,
Yeah,
Alan
so-
might have an
yeah.
opportunity for you.
There's some great. Yeah, I am not. My wife does embroidery.
Okay.
And I have a 3-year-old daughter, and there was a project a while back where she wanted to participate, and we tried to find a way for her to participate. And so I was helping our daughter to try to learn how to put through. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. My wife couldn't tell which one was the toddler and which one was not, because I am not crafty. But I do it with a lot of enthusiasm.
There you go. And,
So
you know,
that's
the most
that's
important
the
thing.
important part for me. Is that
Exactly.
I know that I'm bad, but I still do it.
It's like the people that think they can sing.
I know.
I won't say you. Wait, were you pointing at me?
I was like this, pointing at you. That's me. I can't sing. She always wants me to sing. I can't.
So we're coming up to our closing. So we're going to let Alan close out what he wants to add more about Soldiers Angels and how you guys can help and how they help as well. Any last points that you want to add, Alan, that you want to get out about Soldiers Angels?
Just that the military community is a fantastic group to work with. I really want people to come to our website, soldiersangels.org. I think that's probably the 30,000th time I've said it, but it's all about repetition. But there are so many opportunities for people to give their time, their energy across the country, across the globe, as you know, for our virtual opportunities. As long as you have a post office access, that's all that you need. And please give us a call, no matter where you are in the country, if you're interested in contributing and volunteering on the ground with our VA clinics. We will work with you to try to find ways for you to volunteer. But this truly is a wonderful organization that we actually have a 97% sustainability rating. So that is just to let you know, that means that 4 cents on every dollar is used for administrative costs. The rest goes to supporting our mission, and I'm really proud of that, and I'm really glad to be a part of an organization that is passionate about helping the military community and their families, because it's a great group to work with.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come sit with us and give us your time to get this information out there, because we're always big on trying to provide community resources, but this can impact not just people within our community, but I mean, people that are
everywhere.
Actually everywhere, right? I mean, literally everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can always ask us questions after the show. If you want to reach us, please go back and watch the full episode, so that way you can really learn, or just go to Soldiers Angels for the 51st time, right?
Exactly right.
soldiersangels.org, and you can find out all the information. And if this is a great fit for you to serve, to give back, we're definitely going to be putting on that date where we're going to go as a team to go help you with you guys. And we got a lot of young bucks out there.
To work. They don't know that, but
we're gonna
surprise.
They don't know yet, but they're gonna be. Thank you for all your service, men and women. Yes, thank you
so
Sylvia,
much.
Anything else that you want to add, Sylvia?
No, I'm just so glad that we met, that I found you, and that 100%. You came on our show. We were so excited that I spoke to you and that you had the time, you
kicked our door down.
Yeah, she kicked the door down. Rue was like, "Who are you?
Exactly.
Get out of here!"
Right. Sylvia was too fast. It was incredible. Just
she's like juking.
Like, show me your warehouse. Open everything up. I want to see. I didn't take pictures, but it's all up here.
Mental images.
There you go.
That's what's key.
But we're so blessed to have you on our show, and we want to thank you so much. And we're going to do as much as we can for your organization, volunteer, and I do want to adopt a family. And so
awesome.
Thank you.
We already got a few people that raised their hand that they're going to go to the website and that they're going to help out. So that's awesome. At the very least, our goal with this show is to there's a couple of them. Number one, that you learned something that you didn't know before you came on the show, at least one little piece of information. And it doesn't matter if it's one person or hundreds of people. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that you actually take away this information and go do something with it, because without action, there's no results, right? And so again, as always, we want to thank you so much for supporting the Medicare Space Live. This is our goal, is to bring on more value by bringing on people like Alan to the show to share the information that you guys can use and pass this information on to people that you feel would be a good fit for these services as well.
Right.
So again, guys, wave to the camera. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day, and you guys enjoy your weekend.
Thank you. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Alan.
Thank you.